Extraordinary, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. I probably went too many giggles there.
I think initially I misheard a line in a Ghostface Killer song. And I just thought, wow, that sounds really good. Essentially, it's a hymn to how cool I think we are. There are lots of different connotations and different inferences that can be made from the song title itself, but essentially it's just about how cool we are. How did we come up with the song? I can tell you about the songwriting process. So I just had it in my head. I got into the studio before G, so I pretty much laid down all the instrumentation, added the guitars, and then we rapped over the top of it. Tell us about your lyrics.
Yeah, I actually like my verse a lot. In fact, it's funny because everything in the verse that I wrote is so many rappers, different styles, they're all from different people. I just wanted to just throw them all in. But when I was coming up with all of that was on my way to the studio in the car.
There you go.
Yeah, nobody died that day.
No, and that's the difference between us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm planned, methodical, concise, direct, and you're a lot more intuition oriented, if I can say that. So if it feels good, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, regarding the band name, I refer to Sir Vivian Richards when I think about us. So I back ourselves, our music and our stage show against any other band on the face of the planet. And that's what makes us extraordinary. Regarding the way we dress, this is just how I tend to dress because I like looking good.
We like clothes. Yeah, the Extraordinary Gentlemen is perfect for exactly who we are and what we are, and we think of ourselves as extraordinary.
I would say, and I would hope, that we don't sound like anybody else you've ever heard. So hopefully the experience when you're listening to us should be as if you're walking down a city street on a summer afternoon. People are playing music with their windows open and you're catching little snatches of things that sound and feel familiar, but you're not quite sure what it is. And that's us. So, you know, when it comes to influences, we're trying to put in not just musical influences, but things from sitcoms, movies, literature, and you'll find that all wrapped up in a pretty pink bow. Yeah, I would say we don't sound like anybody else.
Yeah, but they're not sounding like anybody else isn't something that we're trying to manufacture. We're just going into the studio and we're just doing what we do. And this is exactly how we sound. And technically, nobody should be sounding like anybody else. But as you listen to music, you realize a lot of music does sound like everybody else. But they are who they are and good for them. But who we are is just who we are. Our music does not sound like anybody else. One of my favourite films, as I sit here today, is Back to the Future 2. For example, I also love Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld. All of those are influences that are in the raps, in the music, and the ethos of what we're trying to do. So musically, we both love music a lot, but that's not usually where we take our influences. As somebody said, life experiences, and that's where we're taking probably our musical influences from.
Yeah, literature, Alan Moore, comics, Todd McFarlane's Spawn, The Day the Laughter Died by Andrew Dice Clay. It's just essentially everything we're feeling or something we may have heard in the news, that becomes the focus of the song. So it's not just about the music for us, it's, you know, our experiences that we're communicating with an audience for 3.5 minutes.
Say it, Pete.
So I think what we're trying to do, all we're trying to do, is nothing more sophisticated than trying to connect with the audience. So we're trying to entertain people, make them smile, and hopefully leave them a little happier than they were before we started playing. And you know, it isn't any more complicated than that. And that even informs the way we write our songs, because we write our songs thinking about, okay, so how would an audience react to this bit? You know, so we make it good. Because, you know, everything is focused on getting a reaction from the audience. And, you know, there aren't many other bands that do that really. So, yeah, that's why the live thing's so good.
Yeah, and we're extremely needy and we need to be loved.
Yeah, the love of strangers that's the overriding factor.
That's all I'm here for.
When you've had the childhood that we had, which was somewhat traumatic, then you value your worth in the comments and the affection of strangers. So yeah, that's what we're aiming for. Lots more shows, lots more songs. I don't think there's anything else more than that. Just make people more aware of the name, the Extraordinary Gentlemen.